Girivalakari Gopijana Vallabha Girivalakari Jasodhanandana Brajajana Yashodanandana Brajajana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana
Is there Bhagavad Gita up there? Bring a copy of it for me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So, we will continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the 9th canto, chapter 8, the sons of Sagara meet Lord Kapil Dev. That's the name of the chapter. And we are on text number 12. Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita. Nasadu vado munikapa bharjita. Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Katam tamoro shamayam vibhavyate.
Katam tamoro chamayam vibhavyate.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Jagat pavitramani kera jobhuva.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nripendra putra iti satvadhamani.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Katam tamo rosamayam vibhavyate.
Katam rosamayam vibhavyate.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Jagat pavitramani kera jobhuva.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nripendra putra iti satvadhamani.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Katam tamoro samayam vibhavyate.
Katam tamoro samayam vibhavyate.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Jagat pavitramani kera jobhuva.
Someone else try?
Sadhu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Tamoro shamayam vibhavyate.
Katam tamoro samayam vibhavyate.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Katam tamoro shamayam vibhavyate.
Katam tamo shamayam vibhavyate.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Sadhu munikopa bharjita.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Katam tamoro samayam vibhavyate.
Katam tamoro shamayam vibhavyate.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Katam tamoro shamayam vibhavyate.
Katam tamoro shamayam vibhavyate.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Jagat pavitratmani kera jobhuva.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nasadu vado munikopa bharjita.
Nripendra putra iti satvadamani.
Nripendra Putra iti Satvadamani. Katam tamoro shamayam vipavyate. Jagat Pavitratmani Kerajuva.
Word for word synonyms. Na, not. Sadhuvada,
Sadhuvada,
the opinion of learned persons.
the opinion of learned persons.
Muni Kripa, Kopa, by the anger of Kapila Muni.
By the anger of Kapila Muni.
Bhajitaha, who burned to ashes.
Were burned to ashes.
Nripendra Putra,
All
the sons of Sagara Maharaj.
All the sons of Sagara Maharaj.
Iti, thus, Satvadamani, in Kapila Muni, in whom the mode of goodness was predominant. Katam, how? Tama, the mode of ignorance. Roshamayam, manifested in the form of anger. Vibhavyate, can be manifested. Jagat Pavitra Atmani, in he whose body can purify the whole world. K, in the sky. Raja, dust. Bhuvaha, earthly. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat after me. It is sometimes argued that the sons of King Shagara were burned to ashes by the fire emanating from the eyes of Kapila Muni. This statement, however, is not approved by great learned persons. For Kapila Muni's body is completely in the mode of goodness, and therefore cannot manifest the mode of ignorance, in the form of anger. Just as the pure sky cannot be polluted by the dust of the earth. So there is no purport for this verse. So we should go to text number 13. Is it up there?
Yes.
So we can chant that. Yasye Rita Sankyamayi Videhanor Yaya Mumuksush Tarate Duratyayam Bhavarnavam Mrityupatam Vipaschita Paratma Bhutasya Katam Pritanmati Yasye Rita Sankyamayi Videhanor
Yasyerita Sankhya Dede Anor.
Yaya mumukshus tarate duratyayam.
Yaya Mumukshus Tarate Duratyayam.
Bhavarnavam mrityupatham vipaschita.
Bhavanavam Richupatam Vipachita.
Paratma bhutasya katham pritanmati.
Paratma Bhutasya Gatam Pritanmati.
So let's do the word synonyms, word for word. Yasya,
Yasya,
by whom?
by whom?
Irita
Edita
had been explained.
had been explained.
Sankhya-mayi,
Sankhya-mayi,
having the form of the philosophy,
having the form of the philosophy,
analyzing the material world.
analyzing the material world.
That is the Sankhya philosophy.
Sankhya philosophy.
Drida,
Dreda,
very strong,
very strong,
to deliver people from the material world.
to deliver people from this material world.
Iha,
Iha,
in this material world,
in this material world,
now
now
a boat,
a boat,
Yaya,
Yaya,
by which
by which
Mumukshu,
Mumukshu,
a person desiring to be liberated,
a person desiring to be liberated,
Tarate,
Tarate,
can cross over.
can cross over.
Duratyayam,
Duratyayam,
very difficult to cross.
very difficult to cross.
Bhava Arnavam,
Bhava Arnavam,
the ocean of nescience.
the ocean of nescience.
Mrityu Patam,
Mrityupatam,
a material life of repeated birth and death.
material life of repeated birth and death.
Vipaschitaha,
Vipachitaha,
of a learned person.
of a learned person.
Paratma Bhusha, Paratma Bhutasya,
Paratma Bhutasya,
who has been elevated
was been elevated
to the transcendental platform.
to transcendental platform.
Katam,
Katam,
how,
how,
Pritakmati,
Pritakmati,
a sense of distinction
a sense of distinction
between enemy and friend.
between enemy and friend.
Please repeat the translation after me. Kapila Muni,
Muni,
enunciated in this material world,
enunciated in this material world
the Sankhya philosophy,
the Sankhya philosophy,
which is a strong boat
which is a strong boat
with which to cross over the ocean of nescience.
which to cross over the ocean of nescience.
Indeed,
Indeed,
a person eager to cross the ocean of the material world
indeed, a person eager to cross the ocean of the material world
may take shelter of this philosophy.
may take shelter of this philosophy.
In such a greatly learned person,
Such a greatly learned person,
situated on the elevated platform
situated elevated
of transcendence,
of transcendence,
how can there be any distinction
how can there be any distinction
between enemy and friend?
between enemy and friend?
Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. One who is promoted to the transcendental position, which is known as Brahma Bhuta, is always jubilant or prasanatma. He is unaffected by the false distinctions between good and bad in the material world. Therefore, such an exalted person is samak sarveshu bhuteshu. That is to say, he is equal towards everyone, not distinguishing between friend and enemy. And because he is on the absolute platform, free from material contaminations, he is called Paratma Bhuta or Brahma Bhuta. Kapila Muni therefore was not at all angry at the sons of Sagara Maharaj. Rather, they were burnt to ashes by the heat of their own bodies. So, Prabhupada is citing a verse here from Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma. Anyone know what chapter that is?
1854. 1854?
1854.
I try to remember the verse.
So this Prabhupada cited this verse too, because it supports what he is saying and what the Bhagavatam is saying. The Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, they are harmonious. You'll never find anything from one of Srila Prabhupada's books disagreeing with something from another book. It is the absolute truth. It is pure and transcendental. So Prabhupada would sometimes say that Bhagavad Gita is like the ABC of philosophy, spiritual life. And Srimad Bhagavatam, he said, was postgraduate study, advanced. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is even further advanced. So, as I said, there is no contradiction. If we learn Bhagavad Gita, we'll be able to understand and approach the other Vedic literatures. Because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Bhagavan, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, he knows the Vedas. Krishna says so in another chapter, Vedayascha savar ahameva vedya. He said, I know all the Vedas. He gives the Vedas. He compiled the Vedas in the form of the Shakyavesh avatar, Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is a Shakyavesh, means empowered person, empowered by the Supreme. Otherwise, no ordinary person can write or compile all the Vedic literatures. So that Vedic, the knowledge that's in the Vedas, it comes from Krishna. Sometimes it is said that the Vedas are the breathing of Narayan. Narayan is expansion, another incarnation of Krishna. So he knows the Vedas, and therefore when he spoke Bhagavad Gita, it's in harmony with all Vedic knowledge. And therefore, if we can, there's even a verse that says, this one book is sufficient, Bhagavad Gita. Jai Shri Guru Nityananda, Saranabha Padra, Jai Shri Radha Parisisvara. So yes, in the age of Kali, we're not so, our lives are very short. Our lives are very short, and we are impure by so many different contaminations. In our hearts, the enemies of lust, anger, there's so many, jealousy, so many different bad qualities have taken residence, have set up shop in our heart. And we are affected by them, we are ruled by them. Sometimes one is forced to do something, even if he knows it's bad, right? That happens. It happens. Narottam Das Thakur, he has sung Hari Hari Bipale Janama Guainu Manusha Janama Pai Radha Krishna Nabajiya Janiya Shuniya Bisha Kainu. He said, I got this human form of life. And it has a purpose, it's not without purpose. The human form of life purpose is to understand God and understand our relationship with Him. And if we can do that, then we'll be able to get out of the material world, which is mentioned here as like an ocean. Bhava, what do you call it? Bhava, Bhava Mrityu, but it is very difficult. The material world is compared to an ocean. And if you are thrown in the middle of the ocean, any ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, even if you are an Olympic gold swimmer, how long will you last? Not very long. You will go down because the waves are beating you one after another. So therefore it is said, on your own, on our own strength, we cannot get out of this material world. We cannot cross, just like you cannot swim across the ocean. You cannot swim from here to any other continent. Not possible. But if there's a good boat, you can cross. If there's a good boat with a good captain, you can cross the ocean. So here the boat, it's that the boat is the messages, the teachings given by the saintly person, the Acharya, or the incarnation, like Kapila did. He gave Sankhya philosophy. Earlier in the Bhagavatam, when the appearance of Kapila is described, and he spoke this Sankhya philosophy. If we take shelter of that, that's like taking shelter of a boat to cross the material ocean. If we take shelter of any of the books of Srila Prabhupada, we'll be able to cross over this material world. Otherwise, we remain here, birth after birth, janmani, janmani. Or we would take, just like in this life, we take birth and we go through, different stages. And during those stages, there's miseries, so many miseries. And then old age. And after old age comes death. What happens after death? What is death?
Changing of body.
Yes, 99.9% of the people in the world don't know. They're in ignorance. Tama. They don't know. But the knowledge is there. You can hear this knowledge from a saintly person like Srila Prabhupada. Or Kapil Dev is another incarnation. What he says, you can purify your existence and become qualified to leave the material world once and for all. No coming back. Otherwise, if you don't take shelter, then you just keep coming back again and again and again. Budva budva praliyate, Krishna says. For one who is born, death is certain. And one who dies, birth is certain, comes back. So how long we've been in this material world, we do not know. Nobody knows. Some people think this is the only life. Right? Most people think this is it. This is the only life. And they think, therefore, I should just enjoy as much as I can while this life lasts. That kind of philosophy, that kind of thinking is called hedonism. Hedonism. Eat, drink and be merry, for tomorrow we die. And they think, and when you die, that's it. Everything's finished. When I was a little boy, I had an uncle, and he used to say to me, the way people speak in Trinidad. I'm from Trinidad, it's an island in the Caribbean. You all have heard of the pirates of the Caribbean? I used to be with the pirates. And because of colonization, the Spanish, the French, the English, they have all at one point occupied Trinidad and colonized it. The last people to occupy Trinidad were the British. So we learned to speak English. But even after so long, the influence of these other countries, French and Spanish, it colors the English. So people speak English in Trinidad, but to an American doesn't, the American English is different from British English. You know that?
Yeah.
Completely different. You know? So sometimes people say, what language are they speaking in English? They're speaking English. And you are speaking something that's colored. So similarly, people from Trinidad, they speak English. But I've had many people say, what language do they speak there? I said, they speak English. Just like you Americans. You think you're speaking English, but it's a colored form of English. So in Trinidad, it's a colored. So my uncle used to say, when I was a boy, he would say, when you're dead, you're done. That was how he expressed himself. When you're dead, you're done. You're finished. There's nothing more. That's ignorance. That is not true. That is ignorance. Nobody wants to die. Why? No one wants to die. You ask anybody. We want to. Why? Because life is eternal. Life is eternal. And so this idea of not wanting to die, where is it coming from? It's not coming from the body, because the body is sure to die. Everybody knows it. This idea is coming from the soul, the Atma, who is eternal. He's a part of Krishna, part and parcel. In the Vedas, there's a mantra, Srila Prabhupada would cite this mantra, Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kamam. We are all eternal. So there are many eternals. But there is one eternal. Nityo. Nityo is singular, Nityanam is plural. One eternal that's different from everybody else. Chaitanas, Chaitananam. We are all conscious. Even the animals are conscious. Yes. Their consciousness is lower than ours, but they are conscious. They don't have full consciousness, but they are conscious. Wherever you see symptoms of life, you should understand there's a soul there. So the verse says, Chaitanas Chaitananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kama. That one individual, that one eternal, he is maintaining all the other eternals. So that is God, that is Bhagavan. He's maintaining us, he's the maintainer, and we are maintained. So he knows he knows everything. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I know everything. It's true. He knows past, present, future, everything. He was existing before the creation. And when the material world, as we know, when that's destroyed, he will continue to exist. So he knows everything. So, Kapila is the son of Devahuti. So he's referred to as Devahuti Putra. Prabhupada says, there is also an atheist named Kapila. We don't listen to him. We don't care what he has to say. So many people are atheists. We are not interested in hearing what they have to say. Bhakti Yoga says, we are not interested in hearing from any ordinary person. We want to hear from Mahajan, great souls, who has this Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge is eternal. It's the absolute truth. So, Kapila, his incarnation, and his qualities, he possesses all good quality, and he has full knowledge. So therefore we say, how can someone like him be affected by ignorance? He is situated in pure goodness. So it's not possible. Therefore he didn't, when these sons of Sagara Maharaj came to attack, he didn't do anything to them. He's situated in transcendence, unaffected, fearless. But they, because they were committing offense, the fire from within their bodies. You know there's fire within all our bodies? It's called Agni. Everyone has fire. Fire of digestion. And we experience sometimes that fire may get hot, may rise, and sometimes it's low. If your fire of digestion is low, you cannot digest food properly. Many people are like that. They suffer. They eat the wrong thing. But, so there is fire. The fire from within increased and it burned all their bodies. And how many minutes? I think it was 60,000. 60,000 sons of Sagara. See, we're getting information from another time. Different from our time. Our time, nobody lives more than 100. In fact, most people don't even make it to 100. Right? But in the previous Yuga, in Dwapara Yuga, everyone lived for 1,000 years. And then in the Yuga before that, Treta Yuga, they lived for 10,000 years. And Satya Yuga, 100,000 years. It's different time. And therefore they have different processes. Self-realization. Different processes to attain liberation, to become free from the material world. In Satya Yuga, the process was meditation. In Treta Yuga, it was jagya, or sacrifice. In Dwapara Yuga, it was temple worship. We cannot even do proper temple worship. What we are doing here is very scaled down, simple, because we're so unqualified. But there's one thing we can do in Kali Yuga, and it's sufficient. What you achieved in Satya Yuga by meditation, what you achieved in Treta Yuga by jagya, sacrifice, and what you achieved in Dwapara Yuga by elaborate, gorgeous temple worship. In Kali Yuga you can achieve all of that by performance of Sankirtan Jagya. That is the gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is called Mahavadanyaya Avatar. There's a prayer that we sing, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaura Shri Namah. So he's Krishna, but he's coming in a different form. He's accepted the form of a devotee to teach us how to be a devotee, how to be a proper devotee. And it's very simple. You have to chant Mahamantra. Kalu nastiva 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 gritajar anyatha. There's no other way. So this sage, the verse that Prabhupada cited from Bhagavad Gita, 1854, Brahmabhuta prasanatma na sochati na kankshati samak sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktin labate param. Meaning, one who is transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and he becomes fully joyful. He never laments or doesn't hanker, he doesn't desire to have anything material. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. He doesn't see friend or enemy. That's material thinking. So someone who is on that platform is Brahmabhuta platform. So Kapil Dev is Brahmabhuta. Therefore it says, he didn't kill those 10,000. Some people think, oh, he burned them. No. They burned themselves. If you commit aparad, if you offend a saintly person, the saintly person may excuse you. But it said, but Krishna will not excuse you. Your own foolishness will cause you to suffer. So these men, these sons of Sagar Maharaj, by their ignorance, they went to attack him, thinking he was the thief who stole the horse. And they thought, they jumped to conclusion. So we should not jump to conclusion when we're dealing with, especially when we're dealing with devotees. Don't jump to conclusion, because you may be committing aparad, and then you'll have to suffer. Don't think, now I'm a big devotee, so I can treat others whimsically and get away with it. No, you won't get away with it. You will not be protected. So, Kapil Dev was Brahmabhuta. And the symptom of Brahmabhuta person is that they're prasanat, they're joyful. But Prabhupada was Brahmabhuta, joyful. And when we came around him, we would also feel joy. We would also feel joyful. So, such an exalted person is equal towards everyone. and not distinguishing between friend and enemy. Prabhupada was like that. He went around the world. He wasn't distinguishing. Here is here is an American. Here's an Indian. You see, there's no such thing as an American soul. Soul is soul. There is no such thing. There's no Indian soul and American soul. So similarly, there's no Indian Vaishnava and American Vaishnava. Vaishnava is Vaishnava. It is a soul who has taken up the process of worshipping Vishnu. And we should not judge them. Oh, he's this kind of Vaishnava. No, Vaishnava is Vaishnava. African Vaishnava. No, there's no such thing. And that's why Prabhupada saw everyone. He had that equal vision. So Kapila was like that. He didn't distinguish between friend and enemy. He just wants to help everyone. Being on the absolute platform, is free from all these material conceptions. We want to come there. We want to get to that platform. We want to get to that platform where we're not seeing these differences. The differences are just external. Yes, on the material platform there is difference between this body and that body. But we want to come to the spiritual platform. When those distinctions, irrelevant. We were told when you go out to preach on Sankirtan, to distribute books, you don't distinguish who is who. Sometimes if you're thinking that everyone here needs the mercy, my job is to give it to them. You approach everyone. And sometimes you'll be surprised. The person you might think you're not going to give, he might be the one that's going to give you. And the one you're thinking he's going to give, he might just say, get out of here. Right? So, therefore, Kapila Muni was Brahmabhuta, and therefore he was not at all angry at the sons. They were angry. They were thinking, they were foolishly thinking, and they committed offense. And so they were burnt to ashes by the heat of their own bodies. He didn't have anything to do to them. Krishna protects his pure devotee. Some foolish person may look at Prabhupada and think something inimical. But as a result of that, they commit aparadha. But Prabhupada never stopped trying to deliver people. And he wanted his followers to do the same. Like when we go out in Harinam, Sankirtan, what are we doing? We are making people fortunate by them hearing the holy name. They become just a start. But their lives are impious, how they live. Everyone is a meat eater, drunkard, womanizer, etc. But when they get to hear the holy name, when Prabhupada came to America, what was he doing? He would go out alone and do Harinam, Sankirtan. There was no books to distribute. Even during the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. During the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there were no books. He told Nityananda Prabhu, go to Bengal and preach. And Nityananda Prabhu took a few of his associates. Who were those associates? They were cowherd boys. Imagine that. And they went all over Bengal. They were the first Sankirtan party. And they had no books. But they did kirtan and they were telling people to chant. Books didn't come until after Mahaprabhu left. The 6 Goswamis. He sent them to Vrindavan and he told them, you write books explaining what I have taught you. And cite evidence from the scriptures to support everything I say. Because he is Bhagavan. Whatever he says is truth. So Rupa Goswami he did that. And eventually, him and other Goswamis too, they wrote books. And those books, then was it people, because people can't remember hearing what they heard once. In Kali Yuga, we have our memory is practically. But it is said that in Satya Yuga, I think, people hearing once from the spiritual master will remember it for life. Yes. Sukadeva Goswami, when he spoke Srimad Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami was in the audience, young. Then he spoke the second rendering of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is included in this book. There's times you will go, you will see Sri Sutta Uvacha. So, but we can't remember. We can't remember at all. Our brains are, Prabhupada said, our brains are filled with cow dung. But we can take knowledge from Srimad Bhagavatam. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, so many great we can hear the teachings of so many great personalities, like Kapila, Prahlad Maharaj, so many. So, they are qualified to speak. And therefore, what knowledge we get in here, it's perfect. It's perfect. All right, it's 9 o'clock. Did I go over time? What time do you normally stop?
Yeah, 9.
No.
We stop at 9 usually.
Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam.
Jai.
So what time do you say you're going out to the Harinam? 3?
Yeah, we go after lunch
After
usually. Because there is like 1 hour train
Oh,
Then we leave at like 2:20, 2:30.
okay.
I mean, 45-minute train.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Takes
what.
more than 45 minutes to go to Paris.